Today's video is brought to you by Bellessa, and we're doing a massive adult toy giveaway, so be sure to stay tuned for more details. Hi book lovers, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell from today's title, I have some hot and steamy romances to recommend today, some books to spice up your summer. These are all books that I've read over the past year. I had to highlight them, talk about why they're so hot to me, but before I get into these 9 spicy romances, I did want to show the sponsor for today's video. Today's video is brought to you by Bellessa, and we're doing a massive adult toy giveaway, so be sure to stay tuned for more details. Bellessa is a sexual wellness company that's created and developed by women. It's a company that wants its community to embrace, explore, and celebrate their sexuality. All of their toys are made with the highest quality. They are 100% body safe. They have ones for women, for men, and for couples. I just love that this is a brand that believes sex should be fun, empowering, and 100% shame-free, so I am very happy to partner with them today. So here I have one of their toys called Pebble. It's a rechargeable vibe, it's waterproof, and it has some amazing suction action going on. It comes in this round case, like you keep it inside this case, and then when you open it up you can see the toy is actually very small and discreet. Like, this is the size of it in comparison to my hand. I love the pink color here. I think it's so cute, and as for the functionality, it doesn't have any annoying pattern modes, which if you know, you know. It's also ergonomically built, like it's made to fit perfectly and comfortably in your hand, which I think is pretty incredible. It has 5 vibration modes and there are no annoying patterns, and there are 5 suction intensities from beginner to black belt. So I love how small and discreet this is. You can keep it in this round case. If you're looking for a toy that has suction and vibrations, then Pebble is going to be for you. Okay, so on to the giveaway. Everyone who signs up for my giveaway will receive either a free toy or a gift card from Bellessa. All you have to do is click the link in my description to enter. It's a fantastic giveaway, and of course everyone is a winner. Be sure to check out all of their toys on their website, and a big thank you to Bellessa for sponsoring today's video. So here are some steamy romances that you absolutely need to read right now. First up is one of my absolute favorites of this year, which is Liars Like Us by JT Geissinger. I freaking loved the heck out of this one because we have an obsessed hero, like next level obsession. There's all this hilarious banter between the main characters. The actual plot is a little bonkers, but still great, and Callum's dirty talk is chef's kiss. This is the kind of man, the kind of hero who has wanted something for a very long time, and when he finally gets it, he becomes like this primal animal. I mean, this book is pretty much Callum hunting his prey in a way where the prey doesn't know she's being hunted. And I know I'm saying these things like it's a freaking paranormal romance or something, but it's actually a billionaire marriage of convenience romance. It just has a little dark twist to it. It's not dark, but it does have some elements that definitely would not fly in real life. Do I still wish that Callum existed in real life and offered me $20 million to get me to marry him? Absolutely, I do. So he does give off this paranormal hero vibe with his possessiveness and his obsession with the heroine. He wants everyone to know that the heroine belongs to him, and he'll do anything to make that happen. And in terms of the steam, he both praises her and degrades her, which is just the best combination of dirty talk. So this book was crazy hot with fantastic, hilarious characters, and I gotta say, there's one scene that made Callum even hotter than he already is, which is when he gifts the heroine a signed copy of her favorite book, a signed copy of Outlander. I think it was, the signature was dedicated to Emery, to the heroine, so that was hot.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
And then I have The Loser's Duet by Harley laroux. If you've read Harley laroux before, you know how spicy her books can get. Add in the fact that this is a why choose romance with not 1 but 4 heroes. So there's a lot of potential for some good steam, and Harley laroux always delivers. This duet does have a prequel called The Dare that I do recommend you read first because it's pretty much the whole setup of how this romance starts. The Dare is set at the end of high school. It's set at this party. The heroine is a cheerleader. She's the popular cheerleader. The guys are all friends but part of the loser crowd, and all throughout high school the heroine and her friends, her crowd, have bullied these guys, but the 4 guys and Jessica see each other at this party and they end up hooking up. They end up in a gangbang, and this is when she discovers her new kink of being degraded. She totally gets off on it. Fast Fast forward a couple years later, this is when the Losers duet starts up. Jessica went off to college and all four guys stayed in their small town to start up a garage. Unfortunately, they're still considered losers and Jessica's so-called friends decide to harass them again. They destroy their garage and Jessica ends up being left behind, and she decides to offer herself up, her body up, as payment for the destruction. She becomes their sex slave to make up for all the losses and the damages in their garage, and it gets pretty wild. If you love the degradation kink, then this book is going to be perfect for you. It's all consensual, but these guys use the heck out of the heroine. There's one scene where they play out her fantasy of her home being broken into and her being taken by the trespassers. Taken as in used sexually. For some of the guys, there is still this element of enemies to lovers just because some of them still resent her for what she did to them during high school and, you know, now with the garage. So they do sometimes take out that resentment on Jessica, but it's still hot. There's also plenty of sword crossing going on in this Why Choose. It is a full polyamorous romance. There are 4 guys, but the sword crossing mainly happens in pairs. They all love each other and they're all polyamorous, but Manson and Lucas are closer, so they hook up mostly with each other unless it's with, you know, the whole group and Jessica, and the same goes for Vincent and Jason. But yeah, the whole series is about a girl paying off her debts with her body. It gets wild and kinky and very hot. And then one of my most recent favorites is Glitch by Brianna Michaels. When I read this one, I was in the mood for something short and steamy, and this one could not have been more perfect. I couldn't have asked for a better book, a better novella, because Glitch was exactly what I wanted and needed, both the book and the hero. Oh my gosh, the hero here is utter perfection. I love him so much. He is this giant tattooed man who has a very deep voice that he uses for romance audiobooks, and he loves to dole out praise in his dirty talk. This novella is a gamer romance. Glitch and Ara have been gaming buddies in this gaming group for a long time, but they never met and they only know each other through their voices. Glitch has had a crush on her for ages. Honestly, it's not even a crush. He's straight up in love with her. He adores everything about her. Both of them have had fantasies about the other person. So even though Glitch knows that she's the one for him, he hasn't made a move yet. Luckily for him, she breaks up with her boyfriend and she needs help with fixing up her computer. And since Glitch runs this electronics store, he can help her out. When they finally meet in person, the sparks between them are so amazing. I was fanning myself the whole time when I was reading this one. So good. He calls her Kitty. He loves to give. He's such a generous man, both in and out of bed, and I love to see it. This is the kind of hero who worships the ground that the heroine walks on, so it's just the perfect steamy novella. And then if you have not read QB Tyler yet, you need to change that as soon as possible. For this video, I'm recommending her newest book, which is Keep Her Safe, a bodyguard romance. You literally can't go wrong with QB Tyler if you're craving something hot, steamy, and spicy. Most of her books are in that forbidden and taboo realm, so by itself, like, that storyline is already hot, but she adds in just a little bit of her own spice just to make things a little bit better. So Keep Her Safe is a bodyguard romance between a famous actress and her long-time bodyguard. These two have wanted each other since the moment that they locked eyes on each other, but they never did anything about it. One, because the heroine was a little bit too young back then, and later on she eventually got a boyfriend, so they're not together yet. But now in present day, she's just found out that her boyfriend has been cheating on her for a very long time. And what better way to get over a cheating ex than with a man who you have genuine feelings for and the man your ex is always threatened by. Damien is a little bit older than Shay, so there is that hot age gap thing going on. But what made this even steamier was just the intensity of their longing for each other and how long they wanted each other. Everything explodes when they finally get together. Damien becomes even more alpha and protective over Shay, I mean even more so than when he was just her bodyguard. And pretty much from the moment that they first sleep together, they know that this is it for them, that it's worth cherishing and protecting because there is a stalker, there's a dangerous stalker going after Shay. Damien has some good dirty talk, Shay gets to explore things in the bedroom that she never got to while she was with her ex. They're just so free with each other in bed, so this is a great steamy read. And then I'm recommending Mafia Target by Milo Finelli, which is an mafia romance. When the romance starts with the guys in a club, in a gay club, and one of the heroes anonymously gives the other hero a blowjob, you know it's gonna be hot. Unfortunately for these two, things aren't quite as easy as just a hookup at a club, because the guy on his knees is actually an assassin who tried to kill the other guy's dad. Alessio, the assassin, is now hunting Giulio, but he can't help but want his target, and it's messing with his assassination. So imagine that the guy who got you off is trying to kill you. That's basically this romance. Giulio runs all around Europe with Alessio chasing after him, all while they're lusting after each other. When Alessio does catch up though, this is when things get hot and heavy very fast. They can't resist each other, but they also can't stand that they want each other, so there's a lot of hate sex going on here. They use each other to release those pent-up emotions, and it's the first time that these two have found another person that matches them so much and so well. Also, I feel like MM mafia romances aren't that common to read just because it's the mafia and they still have this backwards mentality. So this was really great to read. It's full of action, it's full of spice, and there really isn't a dull moment for these two guys. And then I have to recommend one of my new favorites, which is Pucking Around by Emily Rath. It's a why choose hockey romance. It is a long book, 750 pages long, but that just means that there is a ton of spice in these pages. The heroine is a physical therapist for a new NHL team, and she has 3 heroes. One is her new coworker slash neighbor, and the other 2 are hockey players. One's a goalie. Both of them are forbidden to her though, since she is a physical therapist. Anyway, all 3 guys are absolute suckers for Rachel. Things are super lusty between her and Jake first, just because they had a one-night stand months ago before she joined the team. So when they reunite, they still want each other badly, and he does everything he can to seduce her and also give him a second chance. The other 2 heroes are a little bit slower. I mean, anything is slower than insta-love, but they still want Rachel. So it starts off with her with Jake, which is already hot, but then we add in the neighbor, Caleb, who is bi and also Jake's best friend and also in love with Jake. It's MFM and MMF here, so there is some sword crossing going on between these two. The goalie is the one who takes the longest to join the group, but he becomes the most possessive one. They are all so hot together, and all the guys live to give the heroine orgasms. Honestly, she's like a nymphomaniac here, and if all these guys could make a living off of pleasuring her, they would take that job instantly. They're all so good to her, she's so good to them. It's just a great why choose polyamorous hockey romance, and I will say the quality of the steam is on the same high level as the quantity, because again, 750 pages. I have yet another hot hockey romance to recommend. This is Iced Out by C.E. Ritchie. It's an MM enemies to lovers hockey romance. The main characters have known each other for years and they hate each other, but they are forced to play on the same team because they go to the same college. They don't exactly play well though. They lose all the time because of how they don't get along on the ice, but then they somehow end up hooking up at a party one night, at a college party, which is crazy hot. There's all this chemistry and tension between them, and literally the next day they win their hockey game. It's kind of funny, but they do believe that them having sex is the reason why that they won, so the superstition is intense. Now they have to hook up every time before every game, and they are so lusty for each other. They are so horny. Oh my gosh, I'm surprised they never got caught. So the hate sex between them is fire. They start out this hot enemies with benefits relationship. They try to keep it on the down low at first, just, you know, the night before the game, but obviously it spirals from there to wanting to have sex all the time. The enemies tension was so well done here. I could feel the push and pull, them hating each other but wanting each other, which just amps up the heat and the chemistry. I thought these two were great together. I really enjoyed this hockey romance, and also the ending was super cute. And then my last 2 steamy books are both by Adelaide Forrest. This first one is another hot novella recommendation called Wrong. The title pretty much says it all. Don't go into this one expecting much of a story. It's pure smut. It's just the hero forcing the heroine to be his and the heroine eventually wanting to be with him. It's toxic and dark and wrong, as the title says, but it was still pretty dang hot, especially if you love darker romances. There's consensual non-consent, dubious consent, straight up non-consent. There's a lot going on here in this short novella. So it is an age gap romance between a young heroine and her father's best friend. It's a big age gap, like over 20 years, and the hero has lusted over the heroine for a little while. Again, very wrong, but not surprising given it's a dark, taboo, forbidden romance. The premise to this novella is that the hero is part of this kink club, like he's into consensual, non-consent scenarios, and he's just set up a scene with a woman. When he goes to meet her, he sees the heroine instead, and he wrongly thinks that she's the one who agreed to be with him. So he pretty much just takes her and makes her his. I have to emphasize that this is a dark romance, so if that's what you're in the mood for, then this is gonna be great. It's short, smutty, and twisted, and lives up to the title. And then my final book is Scarred Regrets by Adelaide Forrest. This is actually book 5 in the Blondie Crime Syndicate series, which is a mafia romance series, but you can read it as a standalone. Each book is about a different couple, though they do all intertwine, but this one is just my favorite so far. It's the hottest and the darkest one in my opinion, at least out of all the books that I've read so far. I love the main characters here and I loved all the steam between them. The hero has had a very tough life growing up. He's dealt with abuse so bad that he can't stand the touch of another person, but he has climbed his way up the mafia chain. The heroine herself has also experienced loss and trauma, but when they meet, it's just so different and so special. It's definitely insta-lust. These two were made for each other and they want each other so badly. Of course, there's a whole deal with the hero not wanting to be touched, but I did love how the heroine did everything she could to seduce him. Like, she would see him stalking her and kind of tease him a little bit with her body, and even though he struggles with her touching him, that doesn't mean that he can't touch her and claim her. He is very possessive and obsessive. He definitely stalks her, but that's pretty much the norm for a hero from Adelaide Forrest. Things do get very dark though in this book. The heroine goes through sexual abuse, sexual assault, not at the hands of the hero, but he does help her recover from it all. He's all about her. He's still possessive and jealous, but just with a new softer side with what she went through. So this was a great read. I loved it. A lot of good smut, a lot of good dirty talk to go with this dark mafia romance. And that's it. Those were all of my steamy, smutty romance recommendations to spice up your summer. And if it's winter for you, these are books that will definitely heat you up. If you read any of these books, let me know your thoughts, or if you have any of your own steamy, smutty romance recommendations, please feel free to share them. As always, links to all the books will be down in the description below. Don't forget to enter the amazing giveaway. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!